In the tunnel.
In the tunnel.
In the tunnel. You're listening to In the Tunnel.
Hello and welcome to In the Tunnel, episode number 43.
Yep.
Yeah,
43.
notable things that happened this week are 2 sports finished.
2 sports finished and LeBron started making deals.
Basically, that sums it up pretty well.
Yep. All right, we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, let's just jump into it though. So, first off, we have the NHL playoffs finished. As you can see, the Blues are the champions.
Did the wheel predict that a few
No.
episodes back? Because I know that didn't the wheel predict Raptors in 6?
Yeah.
So the wheel
Actually no, this went 7, but I still think Boston won for some reason. Maybe
Okay.
St. Louis did. I totally forget. We can totally go back and look.
We'll have to go back and look, but I think we've got a decent percentage of accuracy, as you'll find out at a later point in time.
If something weird happened with the screen and just tells us we're completely wrong, then you know what happened. For watching this at a later date.
Well, considering, this is our first one. We didn't go live on Twitch in a while, so everybody's watching at a later date.
Yeah, but hey,
watching or listening at a later date.
The editor, in my case, me, could probably tell YouTube viewers at least what's going on.
Yeah, pat on the back to you for adding another title to your resume, by the way.
Yeah, so what did you think of the series?
Well, I'm not saying that I would have wanted St. Louis to win in 6. Obviously, I would have. But I was just hoping that we wouldn't have gotten that big blowout game that we got in Game 6. That one, kind of messed up the flow in an otherwise tight series. Game 7 was 4-1. I will all acknowledge that, but Game 7 never feels like it's 4-1.
That game was so close, though, like with
right.
how Binnington was standing on his head.
Boston should have had 3 goals in the first period, and Binnington saved, did some amazing stuff to save the day for St. Louis and keep them in it long enough for them to score on their opportunities, which they did not have a lot of because they didn't have a lot of offensive momentum in the first 2 periods. They just kind of were lucky enough to take advantage of what they got.
Yep.
They had 2 goals on their first 4 shots on goal.
Yeah. And
whereas Boston was peppering Binnington and did not have the same luck.
Yeah, and I mean, seriously, Binnington won them that game.
Yes. And he's a rookie. He had the energy to do it.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets his big pay raise like the GM or owner said he would.
I'll say if Luongo, I'm just trying to give an older goaltender, that's not happening. The young reflexes absolutely help in a Game 7 like that if you're a goaltender.
But
the older you get, the less likely you are to be able to make those big saves to spring your legs, left to right, stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the younger you are, the higher chance you have of mental boom.
Yes, but
I mean, he didn't, which is all power to him.
Yes, I was about to say, not the norm when it comes to young goaltenders.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it. I like the outcome. God forbid, this means that Boston goes from, instead of having only a 3-month championship drought, to at least a year because of the absence of the Celtics championship. Or no, not a year because of the Red Sox. It'll go to maybe like 9-10 months.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, the horror.
Hopefully we can get to a year, right?
Yeah.
But I do think
it's my New Year's resolution of June is the Boston teams go a year without winning a championship.
what I would say is like 99% of North America is happy with the combined result of these playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that thinking. I'd like to think that that's the one statistic that makes me think that I could go get a beer with 99% of the people in this country, and then I walk outside and I realize I can't, and then 99 turns into like 3%.
Yep.
Beggars can't be choosers, but if I'm making good enough observations, yeah, I can eliminate a lot of people in that pool.
Right. All right, moving on. We
just became a lifestyle brand. I'm not sure if you caught up with that.
maybe. Anyway, we have the NBA playoffs, which, as we mentioned earlier, was a 6-game Toronto win.
Oh, wait, what happened there? I'm sorry. That center logo between the Warriors and Raptors logo is not supposed to be there. As you could see, there's a little bit of a white square that is hanging over it that should not, Anyway, and now we're a graphics design brand. So yeah, it's hard to win basketball games when 2 of your 4 best players tear their ACLs within the game 5 and 6.
Yep. But
yeah,
you know what I would say?
mean,
I'm kind of sad Toronto didn't win at home.
Oh yeah, me too. But I will say this: it was not going to be Warriors in 7. Not with the way that
Yeah.
Clay and Durant were out.
Yeah, I agree.
Draymond and Steph cannot win you a championship. I don't think. I'm sure if Durant and Thompson both left in free agency this year, despite their injuries, and we, saw next year that it was only Curry and Draymond, and they went to the finals, I'd be proven wrong. But for the time being, I mean, their bench is not very deep.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
It goes to show because they really only played Quinn Cook, Andre Iguodala,
Yep.
DeMarcus Cousins, and yeah, they really didn't have guys past that point. And once you lose Clay and Durant, that weak bench all of a sudden becomes a weaker starting 5, albeit still one that can survive, and your bench becomes, very much a disadvantage because it goes against the team's energy. It goes against the disposal for distribution of minutes. So
yeah, but they were distributing minutes pretty weird.
yeah,
I mean, I think that's a product of their weak bench. Is like they weren't distributing minutes to their bench as
well, but that's the thing is Toronto is doing the same thing. But Toronto also, Jeremy Lin is on Toronto's bench.
I know.
Like there's a difference between, a guy who's been in the league 10 years, who's been a borderline starter on most teams, being the guy who's like a healthy scratch on your bench, and the borderline G League guys who are on Golden State's bench.
Yep.
So the depth was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now that the finals are done,
I still say Bucks in 6 as per the mug in our last episode.
Oh right. Yep. Of
Bucks in
course,
6.
man.
It's gonna happen.
Of
Bucks
course,
in
man.
6. Bucks in 6 and Aaron Rodgers beer chug in 7.
Aaron Rodgers beer chug. Okay.
Yes, 7 seconds or less offense. He plays for the Suns.
All right.
You don't get that reference, do you?
Nah.
Back when the Suns had Mike D'Antoni as coach, they had the Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. Their offensive game plan was to score in 7 seconds or less.
Oh. I guess that works.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers scores in 7 seconds or less. When it comes to drinking beer, eventually he'll do it, and it'll take him 7 seconds or less.
All right. Anyway.
If you're not counting baby sips.
All right. Anyway, now that the playing is over, let's get on to the drafting. So,
Yeah, so you want to take the intro here, and I'll just bounce off of it.
yeah, so, we love wheels on this show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What a perfect opportunity.
I'm a third wheeler myself.
What a perfect opportunity for the wheel to make its comeback.
Yes, absolutely. I think we had so much fun doing the March Madness one that we over time said we need more ways to bring a lighter tone to the show, that goofiness of sorts where anything can happen, because there's just not a brand out there outside of our small name that is doing such stupid stuff. And so we're bringing it back, and I want to say right here and now, I want to bring it back again for free agency.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
I want a 2-wheel system with contract ranges, say like between 5 and 10 million, or 3 wheels contract number of years,
length,
and
AAV,
yeah, length, AAV, or
player.
basketball. We can just go overall contract, and then we go team, and then we just go down the list.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to create a new overlay for that one, but
Yeah, that's not that bad. All right. Anyway,
no.
So we're starting with the NBA draft. So we have our power rank, the player rankings from all the experts, right?
Yeah,
But,
so we took the top 30 ranked draft prospects, and we're gonna fill out the top 15. So we're not gonna go too crazy on you. We wouldn't want some Serbian dude who's 5'6" going number 1 overall. So we're gonna give you semi-accurate, but the wheels are in motion now.
Yep. Anyway, so number 1 overall pick by the New Orleans Pelicans.
The former Pelicans, now LeVar Balls.
And the wheel is going. And they get Jarrett Culver.
All right, Jarrett Culver, I believe
number 6.
Yeah, the combo guard out of Texas Tech, who actually was projected to go somewhere between 4 and 6. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna look up a mock draft. We're gonna do a little comparing and contrasting. How does that sound to you?
I mean, let's do it. But from the get-go, this isn't like super far-fetched, right? The wheels.
Yeah, no, not far-fetched at all.
And New Orleans has a 4th pick.
All right, so according to NBA Draft Net, which is what we're going to use here, Jarrett Culver was projected in their draft to go as number 7 to the Bulls.
Okay.
But if you don't trust Lonzo Ball, the guy that you just traded for.
Yeah, anyway, so now that Culver's off the table, we have the Timberwolves with the 2nd pick, right?
Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis Grizzlies. I am so bad. Oh, I see the
Timberwolves and 11.
I saw the Timberwolves logo and the darker blue. I'm sorry.
It's all good. No, it's okay. It's okay. Who would have known that Bears were not Wolves?
Anyway, what do they pick?
Oh boy. Yeah. Will they go with Ja Morant, perhaps Zion, maybe RJ Barrett? The wheel shall be the judge.
They don't.
But
They
they
go
don't
with
pick
Grant Williams.
Grant Williams.
I'm pretty sure he's ranked 30.
Yeah, if not lower. So according to NBA Draft.net, Grant Williams is projected to go number 36 to the Charlotte Hornets.
Well,
Williams, Sean, Williams.
oh, nice catch.
Thank you, sir. I'm here all night.
Yep.
Yeah, so must have had a really impressive combine, assuming he was invited.
He could have been.
It's not like the NFL. They don't invite a lot. They
Oh.
invite like 30 or 40 people.
If they invite 40, he's projected 36. It's not unheard of.
Exactly. All right. Zion is still on the board for the Knicks. Will
So is
it happen?
Morant and Barrett.
Yes, absolutely. The top three projected still on the board.
All right. Anyway, the Knicks get the pick. Do you think they will take a?
I say they don't get Zion just because it's still the Knicks.
They get Cameron Johnson.
Okay, so I know a little bit about this guy because he went to Pitt and then transferred to UNC. He's a 6'8" forward. He's a senior, so normally they don't really go in the lottery. Younger projects normally go earlier, but Cameron Johnson, dead-eye three-point shooter. He probably would be good for the Knicks, but in Knicks-like fashion, they picked a guy who would have been available in the second round.
Yeah, I mean he's probably like a late first, early second kind of guy.
NBA Draft.net had him going to the Suns at 32.
Okay,
Which
so yeah,
I would mind as a casual Suns fan / Brooklyn Nets fan.
Yeah, so it's like late first, early second kind of pick.
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of like, late first.
All right.
I'd say that 31 and 32 might as well be first round picks. Anything up to 35, really.
Yeah. All right, so then the New Orleans Pelicans get another pick.
Back at it again. This is the pick that they landed as part of the Anthony Davis trade.
Right. And the top three is still on the table. Top five, for that matter.
Top three. Although I would not be surprised if Zion fell out of the top 15 entirely because of his inability to keep his shoes
on. Anyway, with the fourth pick, the Pelicans select Cam Reddish.
Okay. This one, NBA Draft.net had him going number 8 to Atlanta. He's a 6'8" guard forward, hybrid. So he's a big shooter.
Yeah.
Cam Reddish, good shooter. I always confuse him with RJ Barrett just because Duke freshmen are all the same, except for Zion, I guess. But yeah, Cam Reddish. So you get actually a shooting guard, small forward, not a bad look for New Orleans to add to their puzzle after let's see, according to the document, they got Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, and Brandon Ingram. So at the very least, it gives them depth at the shooting guard, small forward positions after Ingram and Hart.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm giving you in-depth analysis here.
Next, rounding out the top five is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yes, sir.
Will they land anybody in the top five?
The big Lurs.
We will see. As the wheel spins. They get Darius Basley.
Yeah, projected to go number 37 to the Mavericks. He is a small forward, power forward hybrid who, instead of going to college, has, I believe, played in the G League for a year. And so he is from the USA. He's not international, but he is not projected to go too high as of right now.
And remember, there's only 2 rounds in this draft. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, early 40s starts to be like you might not actually even get picked, depending. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, now that we got to the Suns pick, you, Mr. Suns fan, who are you hoping for aside from Zion?
I'm not hoping for Zion. Zion's is too. He's. I don't know what his speed is like. I know he can get up, but I don't know how fast he can get down the floor. Kind of doesn't really mesh with the Suns' game. All right, so I'm thinking the Purdue fan in me wants Carson Edwards out of Purdue, but the thing is, they could get him like in the second round.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with. We need a point guard for sure. Ja Morant. Give me Ja Morant.
Okay, let's see.
Don't rig this either. I can take the heat.
You don't get what you want.
Oh, that's not surprising.
You get PJ Washington.
You know, it's weird. I was thinking PJ Washington would be a nice, like running gun, small forward, power forward combo. He played power forward at Kentucky, but at 6'8", there's no way that he's going to stay a power forward.
Yeah, I agree. All right, you happy with your pick?
I've never been happy in my life.
Anyway, moving on to the Bulls. Do they have anything they want?
Offense, defense, anybody really, because they're thinking of even shopping at Zach LaVine. I almost said Adam Levine. So yeah, the Bulls need everything, especially a new GM.
So they use their pick to pick Luka Samanic.
All right, let's see. Luka Samanic, projected to go number 35 out of Croatia, a 6'11" power forward. Luka Samanic, projected to go number 35 to the Hawks. Instead goes number 8 to the Hawks.
No, they go 7.
Oh, my apologies. Whoops. My apologies. According to NBA Draft Net, his NBA comparison was Donatas Montjunas, who's already out of the league, and Nikola Mirotic. So he's a shooter.
Okay.
A regular Mirza Tilatovic.
All right, anyway, so the Hawks are actually now, so let's just jump into them as you thought they got Samanic. And the top 5 are still on the table, so.
Top 5.
They pick Brandon Clark from your favorite school.
Well, it is my favorite school.
Gonzaga.
Oh, no, fuck Gonzaga. It was like.
Why would I say it?
It was like 2 days ago I was finally able to put it out of my mind. And now it's back in.
But why would I say it, man?
Just to piss me off.
Exactly.
Brandon Clark. Where are you, Mr. Clarky? Ooh, projected to go number 26 to Cleveland. Brandon Clark is a 6'8" power forward center hybrid who will definitely not be playing the center position at the NBA level. He was a junior, and he, according to NBADraft.net, his NBA comparison is Jordan Bell, who is a borderline starter / bench player for the Golden State Warriors. So, yeah, when your upside is that.
Hey, borderline starter works. Means you made it to the league.
True. Doesn't mean that you're going to survive in the league, though.
Yeah, but how many players like survive?
I think more than. Actually, not more than you think. Less than you think, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, moving on to the Wizards, if I'm not mistaken. Am I?
Yeah, Wizards.
All right.
Nailed it, Sean.
With the 9th pick, let's see who they pick. They pick Nasir Little.
All right, Nasir Little. He was, yeah. This one may be the most accurate one yet.
I know.
He was projected, according to NBADraft.net, to go number 11 to the Timberwolves.
They must have found something good in him that they just wanted to take him a little early.
He's a 6'6" power forward, which is a little small for, or not power forward, small forward. Still a little small for that position. Who was compared to Jared Wallace.
Okay.
Or not Jared, Gerald Wallace.
Gerald Wallace. Okay.
You remember the former Nets bust.
Yep.
Or not Nets, Blazers turned Bobcats turned Nets bust.
Yep, that one.
That
Anyway, so
one.
the Hawks have another pick, only 2 after their last one, 1 after their last one, right?
Yes.
So, you think they can make up their Brandon Clark pick with something better?
So they don't need a guard. They need a forward. Zion's still on the board. Let's see.
They don't pick a forward. They pick a guard, but they pick Ja Morant.
Ooh, so we have our first of the top 3 off the board. That's going to make Trae Young mad. All right, so Ja Morant was a sophomore out of Murray State, 6'3" point guard. The only knock on him coming from a small school, Murray State. His NBA comparison right now is De'Aaron Fox, who is a young, promising guard in himself.
Mm-hmm.
NBADraft.net thinks very highly of Mr. Morant, and so do the Hawks.
Well, I mean, they did pick somebody before him, so
Well,
how highly?
They knew that they didn't have to wait long.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so now the Timberwolves get a pick. Do you think they can take somebody else out of the top 5?
I think that Zion goes to the Timberwolves.
We'll see. Who do they get? Romeo Langford is their pick.
Romeo Langford. Romeo. Right, where are you, Romeo? Aha. Projected to go number 23 to the Utah Jazz. A freshman out of Indiana, 6'6" shooting guard, Romeo Langford. He is compared to Evan Turner.
How
Evan
far do you
Turner,
think that gets him?
Evan Turner was a one-time All-Star, I think.
So, I mean, he makes it, he
Turner.
does good for a season, and then,
Evan Turner's still in the league, though.
Yeah.
Evan Turner's been in the league for a while. Evan Turner was drafted in 2010, still in the league. So,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Anyway.
If you can stick around the league for 10 years, your draft status is kind of solidified.
Yep. I agree. So, moving on. The Charlotte Hornets get the 12th pick.
I will say maybe not justified, but solidified.
Solidified, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Charlotte Hornets with the 12th pick. they still have some pretty good players on the table, according to the NBA draft rankings, not according to the wheel, I guess.
Zion to Charlotte? Keep
No.
Kemba around? Maybe.
They select Tyler, was it Harrow?
Ty Jerome.
No,
Uh,
Tyler Harrow, guard of Kentucky. Right? Hero?
Hero, yeah.
Hero?
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I can't pronounce
Yeah.
things. What's
He's
new?
a 6'6" guard out of Kentucky. Originally projected to go to Boston at 14, or I'm sorry, yes, at 14. And he instead goes at 13 to
At 12.
Shaan at 12 to Charlotte. His NBA comparison is Nick Stauskas and or Joe Harris.
Okay. Anyway, so now with the 13th pick, it's the Miami Heat. Let's see
Yes, the Heat.
whom they draft from the wheel.
The Heat normally not the best drafters of talent.
They select Kevin Porter. That's a name I could pronounce.
Oh. Kevin Porter. All right, Kevin Porter. He's a 6'5" combo guard / in college forward out of USC. He is most compared to Deshaun Stevenson.
Okay. Now, so we're rounding out the last two picks. We still got half our board left, so let's see. Does Zion fall out of the top 15?
I'm telling you, if he can fall out of shoes, he can fall out of the top 15.
I don't doubt you. But let's see.
Thank you.
Two more picks.
Someone finally believes in me.
I just said I didn't doubt you, not that I believed in
Shit.
you. The Celtics select Nikhil and Alexander Walker. Is that it?
Yeah, Nikhil Alexander Walker. I'm proud of you, Sean. All right, so Nikhil Alexander Walker was a sophomore out of Virginia Tech. He is of Canadian descent. He is shooting guard, 6'5", and his NBA comparison: Spencer Dinwiddie or Jordan Clarkson.
Okay, not bad. All right, so one more pick for Zion, RJ, literally everybody. Who gets it?
This is normally where I play the God card, but I'm not going to do that. I think, let's see.
I'm just going to say KZ gets it, just cuz.
I'm going to go with, actually, KZ was looking pretty good there. I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go with Rui Hachimura out of Gonzaga.
Okay.
Just because someone's going to take that another Gonzaga guy just way too high.
Oh no! The final pick belongs to the Detroit Pistons. With the final pick of our mock draft is R.J. Barrett.
Okay, R.J. Barrett. And 2 of the top 3 end up leaving the board, as R.J. Barrett, who was originally supposed to go to the Knicks at 3, falls to number 15. Duke, just not bringing the talent that they normally bring, I guess. So R.J. Barrett is a 6'7" shooting guard from Duke. He was a freshman, as all Duke guys are, and his NBA comparison was Danny Granger.
Hmm. Eh. All right. Well, I mean, Zion falls out. Who else? A lot of fall out, right? Zion falls out. Garland falls out. Hunter falls out.
Well, let's be real. Garland, who really needs an athlete out of Vanderbilt to play in the NBA?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you'd pick somebody out of Vanderbilt before you pick somebody out of
No. No. You'd pick Gonzaga first.
Gonzaga. All right, I'll hold you to it.
I mean, if you pulled up a picture of Vanderbilt's, like basketball arena, you'd say, like, you know what? This isn't right. Just on like they put the basketball court in, like they overcompensated for how much space they needed for the floor,
Hmm.
and so both the benches are on the baseline.
All right.
They're not even sideline, Sean.
Anyway, let's get on to our second draft of the day, the NHL draft.
Second draft, were we writing a paper?
Yeah, then we'd need like 4 other drafts
No, you don't.
then.
You don't need that many drafts.
Anyway, yeah, so
Nobody have Sean write a paper.
for the NHL draft, we have 31 prospects this time because of the 31 teams.
Indeed, there are, sir.
All right. Anyway, so let's just get started with the number 1 pick, which is owned by the Devils. Who do they pick from the wheel?
Well, I'm over here launching a mock draft, so just for comparison. So, well, you just go ahead and tell us.
They pick Jamison Reese, center out of the OHL in Canada.
And Sean, as your therapist, let me ask you, how does that make you feel?
They had one job and they didn't do it.
Let's see.
He's like bottom of the board, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he was projected, according to this draft, to go number 42 to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes number 1 instead.
Yeah,
A left winger. Sean, do you guys need left wingers?
No.
Oh. Whoops.
I mean, we need scorers, like consistent scorers, but a rookie left winger in the second round, I don't know.
Not in the second round, in the first round.
In the first round, but a projected second rounder, I don't know.
Oopsie doodlies.
Anyway, so the Rangers get the second pick. Do you think they do any better?
Just to make you feel better because you're a friend of mine, no.
They pick Mortis Cedar, defenseman out of Germany. Or Moritz Cedar. I can't pronounce anything again.
Oh. He was projected to go 20 to the... What was it? Is it...
The Rangers used to have that pick, right? They traded it to the Jets. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So he was projected to go to the Rangers, now Jets, at 20.
Okay. Well, they picked him. I guess they just really wanted their 20th overall guy to be second overall, but they did just trade that pick anyway. So, moving on, we have the Blackhawks at third. All the good players, all the like amazing players are still up there. They pick Pavel Dorofeyev. If
you know what?
saying that right?
If we're just gonna spell, and yeah, how do you spell that?
Dorofeyev.
All right, this mock draft doesn't have it.
Yeah, he's pretty low on that list for the 31 players we included.
Yeah, I went to a different site, but which had the correct order. All right, Pavel Doro. Yeah, projected to go number 56 to Washington, a right winger out of the MHL.
Yep. Out of Russia. And
Chicago.
yep. So now we move on to the Avalanche, who won the best odds in this draft lottery from the Senators because of that trade. So, do you think they take advantage of this number 4 pick?
Nope.
No faith.
Let the wheel provide the all-telling knowledge that I somehow cannot.
They select Samuel Poulin from Canada, a right winger.
Projected to go number 24 to Nashville. Samuel Poulin is a right winger out of the QMJHL.
Yep.
6'1", 212 pounds.
All right. I mean, we've had some pretty power ranked by the experts have put these guys so low, but apparently our wheel is saying these guys are the future of the game.
Our wheel is saying these experts aren't shit, and these guys are the shit, and that's why I'm picking them so high.
And so let's see who is drafted at 5th overall. Raphael, was it Lavoie?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person for hockey prince.
Lavoie.
Yeah, that Lavier, colon above the E in the first name, which we don't have in this font.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was projected to go 15 to Montreal.
It's not bad.
A center from QMJHL, a 6'4", 199-pounder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he rounds out the top 5.
I'm putting all my faith chips in the Red Wings at 6.
All right, let's go. All his faith chips are in. We're just spinning it.
Jack Hughes for the win.
Jack Hughes or Capo Caco, huh?
Uh,
They get Philip Broberg, defenseman from Sweden.
All right, close enough. He was projected to go number 13 to the Florida Panthers. Philip Broberg, a defenseman out of Allsvenskan.
Yeah.
6'3", 200 pounds.
Yep.
What a Broberg.
He's a pretty good player. Again, I really don't the experts say he ain't going this high, but the wheel does. So
yeah, the wheel's an expert, and it's all right. We put a certificate on it.
So does Buffalo take one of the top projected by the experts, or do they let the Oilers have free reign?
I think they do, just that Jack Eichel can bitch and moan about it until they leave.
Okay. Well, let's see. Or we get to see another high overall pick get ruined by the Oilers.
Not.
So at number 7, the Buffalo Sabres select Vasily Podkolzin.
Oh dear God.
Which actually, this is probably the most accurate pick that we have, and that we probably will have.
Yeah, because he was supposed to go number 6 to Detroit.
Yeah, he's hovered around that 6 or 7. So
a right winger who's 6 foot, 196 pounds.
Yeah, he's if you guys see highlights and stuff, this guy is really good. Totally,
I've got chipping. Yeah, I've got 2 mock drafts open. He was projected to go 6 to Detroit or 8 to Edmonton. So, middleman,
Yeah.
average it out. He was supposed to go to the Sabres the whole.
Yep. Anyway, so now let's see what first round pick the Oilers just let wallow in despair because they can't win anything. What do you say about that?
I think they're going to give him a bloated contract.
Do they even have enough money to give a bloated contract at this point?
Doesn't matter.
They select with the 8 overall pick
They're gonna
Capo
ruin-
Caco.
I was going to say they were going to ruin Jack Hughes. Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, this guy is just as good, man. Like,
Yeah, projected to go number 2 to the Rangers. He's a right winger, 6'1", 187 pounds. Capo Caco.
There is the one guy the Oilers are just gonna never let win a championship because they just can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah, although he could play on the McDavid line.
But does that really help? They combined Draisaitl and McDavid already. Do you really think another person's gonna help get them to wins?
Nope, just brainstorming here, Sean. If you're gonna go into the playoffs one of these years with only one line that's productive, you might as well maximize the potential of that one line.
All right. Anyway, moving on to number 9, the Ducks have the pick. With number 2 off the table, they still have a pretty good picking though.
They're a good duck.
All right. Well, let's see what they get. And so with the 9th overall pick, they select Alex Newhook, center from Canada.
All right, so I'm looking at 2 mock drafts here. Let's see where we're going here. All right, so one projected him 14 to the Coyotes, and the other one had him at number 12 to Minnesota. He is a center, 5'11" or 10.5 inches. It says 192 pounds out of the BCHL. That means that he was basically he was committed to Boston College.
All right, we'll see about that.
No, I mean he plays for. Yeah, he's playing for Boston College.
Yeah. So anyway, rounding out the top 10, we have the Vancouver Canucks. They get Jack Hughes.
Well, it would be nice for them to replace one of those almighty Sedin brothers one of these years.
Yeah, I think they
not sure that Jack Hughes is the guy who, position wise who would do it, but
anyway, so with the 10th overall pick, they select Nils Hoglander, a left wing from Sweden.
Oh, and they took him away from the Devils. Projected to go in the second round to the Devils, right winger, 5'9.5" and an almighty 188 pounds. Nils Hoglander. By the way, there's a dude. This site must be wrong because at number 35, they have Nolan Footwing, only 95 pounds.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that a hockey player should not weigh only 95 pounds.
A hockey player less than 150, there's a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess typo.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Anyway, so the Flyers are selecting number 11. They still have quite a bit open, so let's see.
I'm gonna guess a canister of Doritos. They love just throwing something big and orange out there.
Does Kirby Dosh count as a canister of Doritos?
Let's see. Is he a redhead? Kirby Dosh. Right.
D-A-C-H. A center out of Canada and the WHL.
Well, that's disappointing. He might actually prove to be competent. Which is a big step up for Flyers. He was originally projected to go number 7 to Buffalo. Center from Saskatoon. 6'4", 198 pounds. I also saw him going number 6 to Detroit.
Okay. So they have him ranked up there. Anyway, the Wild have the next pick at number 12. They waste it or they do something good with it.
I'm thinking Zagrass here.
Okay. And they select Alex Turcotte, center from the U Wisconsin.
All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm in like my own draft war room right now. Yeah, so he was originally projected in both my mocks that I'm looking at here to go number 4 to the Avalanche.
Dang.
A center, 5'11", 186 pounds out of the U.S. of A.
All right. Well, so I mean, yeah. So according to the experts, he's pretty high up there, but according to the wheel, he's mid first round.
Sean, I'm going to give you a bold prediction here. I think that the Florida Panthers are going to draft a used sandal.
Okay.
Fan favorite.
All right. Well, let's just roll it and see. They select Matthew Boldy
I knew it.
from Boston College.
All right, so I have him in one mock projected to go number 11 to the Flyers, and then the other one projected to go number 10 to the Canucks. He's a right winger, 6'2", 196 pounds.
So yeah, that one. Well, the wheel's not too far off from the experts, as we say.
Yeah, as we say in our amateur business.
Anyway, the Coyotes have the next selection at 14.
See, who's someone with like a really ridiculous name that a coyote would howl?
Kolyachukov.
I was thinking Thomas Harley.
We'd both be wrong. They
Well, yeah, but I'm
choose
not trying to be right.
Ville Heinola, a defenseman from Finland.
Ville Hinola? How do you pronounce?
Heinola.
No, I know how to spell. I was trying to see if there was a way to pronounce it.
Yeah, I would like to know that too.
Yeah, well, I don't have that information. Let's see.
Your war room is failing you now.
Yeah, well, I pronounce it Finland. He's from Finland.
Yep.
All right, projected in one of my mocks to go number 22 to the to the Kings, and in the other to go number 33 to the Kings. He's a defenseman who's 5'11" and 200 pounds.
Yep. Anyway.
Now finish us off with some Canadian juice.
Yeah, the Canadians get the last
as they call it, syrup.
Mock draft. So let's just see who they get.
Maybe a stone cold LaBelle.
They select Ryan Suzuki, center from Canada, and the Ontario Hockey League.
Definitely a hockey player name, Suzuki. All right, Ryan. All right. I had him in one mock going to one of the other Canadian teams, the Jets, at 20, and in the other going at 18 to Dallas.
Okay.
A center out of the OHL, 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He is 172 pounds out of the Canadian country up north.
All right, so that rounds out our 2 mock drafts for the top 15.
mock draft o'clock.
What do you think they did? How do you think the teams did?
Oh, everybody gets a C.
Oh, okay. Easy. All right. Yeah, these will be posted on our Facebook page and everywhere later.
Yeah, I mean, remember, C's get degrees, but you either get a pass or a fail in my book.
Okay. All right. Anyway, yeah, on to our next segment. Useless stats and facts. You want to kick it off?
Yeah, so in 2003-04, Rick Nash, Ilya Kovalchuk, and Jerome Ginla each won the Rocket Richard Trophy, which coincidentally a three-way tie. But they posted the lowest total goals for any non-lockout affected season, with 41 goals apiece, taking
That's
home the top spot.
a goal every other game, which is kind of low for the top, right?
Oops. Yep. Guess so.
Yeah. All right. So the next stat we had was Ovechkin has now won what 8 Rockets in his career.
8 Rocket Richard trophies in his career.
Let it be known that's only converted to 1 cup.
I was about to say the same thing. It's like the sub shop punch card. 8 Rocket Richards gets you a free Stanley Cup.
Yeah. I mean, at least they didn't make you do 9 and 1 free or whatever it is.
Yeah, redeemable at any Las Vegas.
Yep.
All right. Wayne Gretzky is the all-time leader in All-Star Game points with 25.
That's a absurd number for the All-Star game.
It could be. He played in a lot of them.
Yeah, true. And also, All-Star games are quite scoring intensive now that like nobody actually.
Well, yeah, and they
fully
used to be
tried.
even more high scoring when it was 5 on.
Yep.
When it was 5 on 5, and you could get those secondary assists more easily.
All right. Anyway, next stat we had is Moses Malone has recorded the most offensive rebounds in NBA All-Star games with 44 in 13 appearances.
Mm-hmm. Need nothing more be said. Brandon Roy and Andre Drummond record field goal percentage in All-Star games with an 83.3% make rate. These are two guys that you do not think about when you think of NBA All-Star games.
Nope, not at all. Walter Payton has 81 rushing attempts in his career in Pro Bowl games.
Yep.
I don't know if that's like, kind of low. I don't know.
It could be. Let's see. I'm looking at something else really quickly just to. All right. So this is Goose Gossage. Rich Goose Gossage has finished, not necessarily saved, 6 MLB All-Star games. Just happened to be the last pitcher in there sometimes.
Huh? And after a NFL fair catch, your team can opt to take an uncontested field goal, also known as a fair catch kick.
And this was last attempted by Phil Dawson, I believe you said?
Yeah.
Phil Dawson.
Yeah, it doesn't get attempted many times.
Nope.
And it has a really low success rate. The last one to go in the regular and postseason was on November the 21st of 76.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, we weren't alive, dude.
Spoiler.
Yeah, there you go. So now on to
Everybody's favorite.
forgotten stars. So
Mhm.
let's just straight into it, right?
Yeah.
First one is Rafael Furcal. This guy played in the MLB for 14 years, was a 3-time All-Star all the way back in 03, then in 2010 and 2012. He was signed by Atlanta as an amateur free agent in 96 for $5K. He was also the 2000 NL Rookie of the Year, if I could speak.
It's okay. I'm yawning on my end.
He has a career 281 batting average, 113 home runs, and 314 RBIs, and was part of the 2011 World Series champion. Who won that year?
I think it was the Cardinals.
Cardinals, right?
It definitely wasn't the Marlins.
No way. I was pretty sure it was the Cardinals, but didn't have that on the top of my head. All right, you want to take the next one?
All right. Yeah, so Big Mark Bulger played in the NFL for a solid, but not solid for a quarterback, 8 years. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler in 03 and 06. He was originally a 6th-round pick by New Orleans, who ended up on the Falcons before getting a true chance with the Rams. He was the 2003 Pro Bowl MVP, if you could even give a bad Rams team's quarterback such an honor. He has only 122 career touchdowns, 93 interceptions. He threw for 22,814 yards with an 84.4 passer rating, which is not bad.
22, almost 23K yards in 8 years is not bad.
No, not bad at all.
I mean, I also think
but the team sucked around him.
Yeah, like that's why he's a forgotten star. He
didn't have receivers either.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He just didn't have much of a team around him, which is unfortunate.
You live and you learn.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Ben Wallace.
The biggest and baddest fro.
He played in the NBA for 16 years, was a 4-time consecutive All-Star from 03 to 06. He went undrafted, which is pretty dang surprising to have that good of a career. The 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year for 02, 03, 05, and 06. And the 2-time NBA Rebound Leader, and he was the block leader once.
Yep. Undrafted, found his way onto the Bullets, which turned into the Wizards, then to the Magic before landing with the Pistons, where he spent a good portion of his career before signing with the Bulls after the Pistons regime came to an end, and then ultimately with the Cavs as they tried to, secure the bag for LeBron.
Right.
In the first go round in Cleveland.
Yeah. All right, and finally, we have Milan Hajduk.
Hey Duke. Milan Hajduk.
Hajduk.
It's like Hey Jude, but Duke.
All right, yeah. He had a really long career in the NHL, 14 years. He's a 3-time All-Star in 2000, 01, and 09. Was a 4th-round pick when the Quebec Nordiques existed. He won the Rocket once, and his career stats are 375 goals, 430 assists, which totals for 805 points, which are pretty nice numbers, like evenness and rounding wise.
Yeah.
He only has 2 teams in his career, which are the Nordiques and the Avalanche.
It's essentially one team. The Nordiques became the Avalanche.
Yes, I know. That's the point. Which is...
But, I had to show homage to both.
Yeah. All right. And finally, to end today, we have one-hit wonders, which we actually only have one. So, moving on. We have... Go ahead.
Yeah. Jonathan Chicho.
Chichu?
Chicho. Look, he's a one-hit wonder. I ain't pronouncing his name more than once.
I mean, you've
He
already
played
pronounced
in
it
the.
twice.
Hey, we don't live in the past. He played in the NHL for only 7 years, a one-time All-Star back in '07. He was a second-round pick by the Sharks in 1998. He must have had a really good calendar year in '06, leading into his one-time All-Star knock in '07, as he was the Rocket Richard winner in '06 with 56 goals,
Uh-huh.
which totals to about a third of his career.
Just over a third of his career
Yeah,
goals.
where he had 170 goals for his career, 135 assists, and only 305 points with a negative 29 rating.
But okay, to be fair, rating doesn't really mean much. Having a minus 29 rating isn't the worst. You have
It's
players
not,
with
but
a lot worse who are more star.
true. But after being a second round pick in his go round with the Sharks, he found his way onto the Senators, who then I believe released him when they got Matt Cullen,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then Dallas brought him in for a tryout or something, I believe, and then that didn't last long, and then the Blues, and
There
that
he
didn't
went.
last long either.
Yep. But
In
I
7
find
years,
it
4
really
teams.
funny. He wins the Rocket in '06, but he doesn't get the All-Star until '07.
And then nothing happens in '08. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's out of the league soon after. So
yeah.
yeah, so there you
Yeah.
go.
Good times.
Yeah, so there you go. Those were our fun things today. Any closing remarks?
Fun for everyone. Oh yeah, we want to pose a question to the listeners. Would Reggie Bush be a one-hit wonder in your eyes? We go back and forth on this because I tend to think that he was already at superstar fame when he was playing in college at USC, and then he busted when he was in the NFL. But as an amateur, technically being in college, you can't bust until you're in the NFL. So is Reggie Bush a one-hit wonder or just a straight bust?
That's the question. I personally go for bust. This is why we wanted to bring it up at the end. But
Mm-hmm. It could be argued different ways for sure.
oh yeah.
And also, we might have a new logo coming out soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll be hoping for feedback on that. We're aware that this one that we've been riding with for the past year may not be the most appealing and entertaining logo that just grabs the eye.
Right. Yeah, and with that, thanks for tuning in.
And live from New York, it's no, never mind.